The important thing about Fulbright taking you to the country and hosting you there is this complete immersion, the knowledge that you acquire from living in another country for 9 months and then coming back to your country and then spreading that knowledge and using that knowledge as a member of society is invaluable.
It's about experiencing different cultures. Other than a language barrier, there's really not much that differentiates one person from another. You take away the language and the different customs as, historical development, and we're really sort of the same. We are the same.
It completely changed my life perspective participating in Fulbright. Having been exposed to just a completely different reality really made me rethink everything I thought I knew about life.
You just have to mention Fulbright. It's understood that this is a very high achievement. It reflects well on the institution. It reflects well on the students. I think Fulbrights are seen too as sort of a global cultural mission.
Our students now have the opportunity to dream bigger, even if they aren't interested perhaps in a Fulbright scholarship. It allows our students to dream.
Fulbright program began in 1946, just after World War II, and it was created as an international exchange program between the United States and partner countries around the world.
I had never heard of the Fulbright grant before Dr. Toole had approached me about it. I actually hadn't strongly considered a lot of major scholarships. I was under the impression that I would kind of stay in the region that I grew up in.
The way the Fulbright works is that there actually are an equal number of people coming from other countries to the United States in a given year, as there are U.S. citizens going outbound on the Fulbright program to other countries.
There's only so much research you can do about other countries sitting in a classroom in the United States. It's not just pure research, but you can teach English. They offer other grants to do filmmaking, for example, or photography.
In fact, you can get a Fulbright for anything, from any pursuit, from the study of business to the study of any traditional liberal arts, social sciences, humanities, natural science field, to the arts.
I think it's really cool that other people in Indiana are interested in the global community. I think it's excellent that other students have this academic drive to explore other countries. And I think it's also really cool that Hoosiers are the people who are going abroad and kind of acting as cultural ambassadors.
I'm going to Luxembourg now to study genocide education. When one thinks of the Holocaust, Germany, Poland, perhaps France, these other countries come up first. Luxembourg generally is at the bottom of the list, if even listed at all. So I knew that my research project on genocide education in Luxembourg could already stand out. What I plan on doing is comparing the differences between Luxembourg and how it approaches genocide education as a post-genocide state with a strong standard of living versus how the United States, which is not a post-genocide state necessarily, how it approaches genocide in its secondary education settings.
Having lived in a community where race is something that cannot be ignored, where it's at the forefront of virtually every aspect of life, it really had a profound impact on my academic interest and really solidified my desire to pursue understanding race in the Americas.
I'll be working with an independent non-governmental organization in Romania that does democratic research. So the quality of democracy in Romania, how active are people involved in local government, how active are people involved in Romanian government as a whole. Romania, being a parliament, has multiple different parties, really different from the US system, where we are a multi-party system, but we have two parties. That's sort of just how we develop. In Romania, it's completely different. There's 20 different parties. And what really fascinated me was that transition from that brutal communist regime to more or less, a responsible democracy in the world.
If you want to pursue a Fulbright scholarship, you have to be really passionate about another country.
These are extremely competitive. It's only an exceptional student that I would suggest it to.
You want an individual that has independence of thought, imagination, a generosity of spirit.
If you are really eager to put yourself in a completely different environment, act as a cultural ambassador, and get to know another culture, if you're really open-minded, then I think it's appropriate to pursue a Fulbright scholarship.
Fulbright is really tough to get. Our students need to have, any student who successfully wins a Fulbright has to have a very high GPA.
I did not have the most impressive GPA. It was like a 3.8, which for most people is pretty good, but for Fulbright, I remember when I met with Dr. James Toole, he went, 3.8.
You know, having a passion for travel and study abroad is great, but the Fulbright's also an academic scholarship. You have to have sort of some experience in the field with, researching with professors, doing sort of outside extracurricular activities. You really have to start taking your academics seriously.
And just, real intellectual curiosity, really good research experience, usually has gotten to know his or her professors well.
It's your grades, it's sort of your demeanor, it's your sensitivity towards other cultures, it's your sort of passion and drive.
I've been approached by multiple other people about this, and I always try to encourage them to do it because the application process is free. It's laborious, and if you don't take it seriously, you will not be taken seriously.
The risk is almost as important, even if you don't make it, to try, because you learn something about yourself, you learn something about your abilities, you become a better writer.
This process is valuable whether you win or not, and the time is not wasted.
The staff are really cool here because they're willing to take time outside of the classroom to work with students, not just on the specific class itself, but to hone your research skills, your ability to write, and your ability to think critically.
We have small classes, small class size. Our faculty get to know our students.
I applied for the Fulbright Scholarship while I was in Barcelona, and that is a testament to how cool a dude, how cool a professor Dr. Toole is, because he was willing to work with me, from Fort Wayne while I was in Barcelona. It wasn't the easiest process, but I don't think it was also rather complicated. We worked rather well together, and it all worked out.
The process of applying for a Fulbright is very rigorous. Any major scholarship is going to require a personal essay, and most of them, and the Fulbright is one, also requires a statement of grant purpose. So one statement about you, one about what you're going to do on the grant.
I don't think it would be possible without mentoring.
It requires a faculty mentor to go over that application with a fine-tooth comb. Not one time, not two times, not three times. We're talking about 4, 5, 6, 7 times.
The process, there are many hoops you have to jump through where you're not just, do I get it or I don't? There's stages of elimination.
First, a campus interview here. Second, the national selection process. And third, you have to be selected ultimately by the host country committee.
One of the reasons I think we've been so successful is this culture of engagement between faculty and students outside the classroom.
If you show effort in your classes, the professors are extremely receptive to it. They pick you up immediately.
Faculty really do want to see students succeed. Go see your professor.
What we find with our students is when they come back, they find doors opening to them that weren't open before.
Becoming a Fulbright student is something that's really good for you, something that builds you as a professional, something that certainly has opened doors for me, I've noticed already.
Externship opportunities, internship opportunities.
The Fulbright is known across a wide range of careers. It's a very impressive alumni network. 37 Fulbrighters have been heads of state or heads of government, 59 Nobel Prize winners. Fulbright sends about 1,900 students every year from the United States to 160 countries around the world.
I don't think it's going there just to have fun or going there just to work. I think it's going there to be involved in a professional career, and I think that is rewarding in and of itself.
The people there are just the most excellent, open, wonderful, generous group of people I've ever met in my life. They were so preoccupied and concerned not only about my well-being and my safety, but about my happiness. They were so eager to show me their community, the positive aspects of the department I lived in. They were so eager to show me the rainforest, these magnificent rivers, these incredible waterfalls. They were so happy to take me out dancing and to expose me to the local music. And so it was just really cool for me to meet people who live in possibly some of the most complicated and difficult circumstances in Latin America, yet for me to also realize that they're probably happier than the majority of the people I know in the United States.
When students come back from study abroad, whether it's on a Fulbright or not, they're changed.
It's a testament to the major scholarships program and to the honors program.
Having a Fulbright scholarship and having Fulbright scholars sends a signal to our students here that they should dream big, they can dream big, They will dream big.